All right, hello from Switzerland. I'm Axios' national security editor, Dave Lawler. I'm joined by our senior economics reporter, Courtenay Brown. Courtenay, you've been to Davos a couple times. How would you describe the vibes on the promenade so far this week? How are people feeling heading into Davos 2026?
In the spirit of smart brevity, I ran into a banking executive on the promenade who described it perfectly in one word, and that's wacky. I think that's an awesome way to describe the vibes this year. One of our top editors here just said that there kind of feels like there's two Davoses. There's the side of Davos that's really excited about AI and only wants to talk about how AI is reshaping the economy right now. And then there's the other side of Davos that's a little bit more cautious, worried about some of the geopolitical overcast, the uncertainty that has become the new normal under Trump. So almost like last year, it depends who you're talking to, what the vibe is. Last year, it was so great to talk to the Americans. They were so happy. The big topic du jour was American exceptionalism. That's not the case this year. American exceptionalism is no longer the big theme. But I do think Americans are excited about the prospect of AI, a critical driver of U.S. economic growth, and that has stuck around. But there's also concern about some of the uncertainty that just naturally comes in the Trump 2.0 era.
Yeah, I just spoke to Eleanor in the last segment, and she was saying that for her, she thinks it's going to be two Davoses before Trump's here and after Trump's here. You're talking about two happening at the same time in parallel with the pessimists and the optimists.
Yeah.
The financial sector, which you cover, is out here in force, as they always are. Why do you think Davos has stuck as a big convening place for that sector? And you take meetings with folks. Are they all talking about AI, or are there other conversations? Why do people what do people want to come here to talk about, is I guess what I'm asking you.
I think it's just a good place to do business. One CEO told me today that just very simply, all of his global clients come here. He's a US-based executive, and it's just really easy to meet with all of the clients he has around the world in one place, 4 days, get it all done. And I think that will always be true about Davos. Now, what's on the agenda, whatever the theme is, I think that will, vary widely year to year. But I do think just in its simplest form, this is a good way for executives to run into heads of states and run into other executives and just chat.
You said it's a good place to do business. Do you find it to be a good place to do journalism? Do you have any tips and tricks for making it a productive week as a reporter?
Talk to everyone. I learned so much this week, and it's still early in the week, from a driver in Switzerland who was telling me about his perception of the vibes, and he's been driving for Davos for years and years, and he was telling me about Trump 2.0, and it's just a good way to kind of ground the conversation that you have with CEOs who are a little bit more removed from that sentiment. I think that sentiment is a huge theme for the U.S. economy this year. It is no longer just something that Americans are feeling. It's starting to really drive policy. Americans are upset about how expensive things are. They're pissed about inflation. And, President Trump is, shaping policy, taking a very hands-on approach in the economy to make things, or try to make things, more affordable for Americans. So I think there's a lot of attention on sentiment, how people are feeling, the K-shaped economy. I never really noticed people talking about that before in Davos. So that's something that's new this year.
Interesting, Courtenay. That's all the time we have. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm going to hand it over to Axios publisher, Nick Johnston.
Hello from Davos, everyone. I'm Nicholas Johnston, the publisher of Axios. We've had a great week of conversations here on the promenade about a lot of awesome topics. And a big thanks to Qualcomm, our partner once again this year, for hosting us in this awesome space. And I'm very excited to welcome to the stage here at Axios House Qualcomm's Chief Financial Officer and Chief Operating Officer, Akash Palkhiwala. Akash, how are you?
Thanks, Nick. I'm having a great time.
Welcome to Davos. It's your first time. Tell me what it's like. What have been the vibes as you've been walking up and down the promenade taking meetings?
It's just been an incredible experience. It feels like speed dating. My first time here, I've met a lot of interesting people, a lot of political leaders. It's just obviously a very obvious gathering of a lot of political leaders here. We did get a chance to meet with several of our partners and interact with the leadership team, mostly CEOs. And so that has been an extraordinary opportunity as well. So very excited and having a great time.
What are the big trends, topics that have jumped out at you in those conversations?
You know, outside of the political backdrop, geopolitical backdrop, which I'll stay away from, I think there has been a lot of conversation about AI. Qualcomm has been talking about Edge AI as kind of the key next step in the AI story. And increasingly, we're seeing both our partners and industry observers buying into that strategy. And so great to see the support for it. The second thing is about 6G. Especially as we approach kind of the next couple of years, the excitement on 6G is building and how AI is going to be the native base for the 6G technology and how it's going to be integrated into 6G. So excited about that as well.
We've been up here on this stage talking about exactly those topics, demonstrating both devices, talking about the enterprise deployments of a lot of these edge use cases. I'd love from your vantage point of CFO, of COO, taking a step back, give me a look at the macro trends that are happening that are supporting those AIs.
I think from a technology perspective, a lot of the building blocks that were needed have happened, and we're integrating it across our chips. So whether you think about smartphones, automotive, IoT devices, industrial, robotics, data center, our technology is going across all those areas, and AI is embedded in each one of them.
And this is your first Davos, like you said. Let's end on one fun thing. What's been the highlight of your first visit here?
The Qualcomm Nightcap a couple of nights ago has to be the highlight of the event. We had incredible turnout at the event. We also had Howard Lutnick at the event. And when he spoke, he talked about how Qualcomm is a national treasure. That's a pretty good way to end.
That's a classic Davos moment. So glad of you to join us here. And huge thanks to Qualcomm for making this whole week possible. And stick around. The conversations continue.